morning, good morning, good morning. It is 7:30. Let's get ready to kick this thing off. All right. Okay, first thing first, everybody, you guys cut your cameras on. It's Bootcamp Monday. All right. Okay. If you are not at work and you can participate, we're going to do our PT real quick, get that out the way, and then we'll continue to move on. All right, so here we go. First thing we're going to do, we're going to do some jumping jacks. All right, ready? Begin. We're doing this real quickly. All right. Run in place, high knees up. Pick your knees up. 1 minute PT. Knees up, knees up, knees up, knees up, knees up, knees up. All right. Bringing our knees to our elbows, knees to elbows, knees to elbows. 1 minute workout, 1 minute workout. All right, now we're going to do toe touches. Touch your toes. Touch your toes. Touch your toes. We got about 30 more seconds. Touch your toes. Touch your toes. Jumping jacks. Back to the jumping jacks. Back to the jumping jacks. 15 seconds. Run in place. Run in place. We got 10 seconds. Bring your elbows to your knees. Elbows to your knees. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are done. All right, hope everybody's feeling good now. I'm pumped up. Ready to get to this boot camp today. Hope everybody had a blessed Easter. We're gonna get to work now. All right. Let's go.
Do you want it bad enough? It's that simple. I mean, that's when people go to boot camp, when they go to the Marines, when they go to the Navy SEALs, Air Force, the Army, they are put in an environment where you have someone higher up telling you that you have to do this and physically making you do it, otherwise you quit. And people quit all the time, but those who don't, were they born with that drive, or did it just instinctually happen? Everyone's going to come to a bridge in a road where you go, this is too hard. And you either quit or you figure out how to push through it. And everyone's going to have that in their life. Every single person, doesn't matter how much money you have. A lot of people think, oh, if I have money, my life's going to be easier. Sure. Because your bills are going to get bigger. Your worries are going to get more. I mean, because the money, you can lose the money. That's the problem. The reason that most people, in my opinion, one of the reasons that most traders don't actually make a lot of money trading is because they have this fear in the back of their mind that when they get the money, they're going to lose it all because they haven't practiced risk mitigation. Because most traders know, regardless of how much money you have, you could have tens of millions of dollars. You could lose it all on one trade. And if your brain knows that and you haven't practiced proper risk mitigation, why is your brain ever going to say, you know what, it's okay for you to have all this money because we know exactly what to do with it. So you have to have that plan of I'm all right with that loss. And that goes back to the self-believing and the truth of the matter is you have to be okay with accepting that it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult. Everyone has the ability to become insanely successful in whatever environment they want. It just will take perseverance and insane discipline and pain, mental pain or physical pain.
Mindset challenge number 1 is And it sounds so simple, right? It is coming back down to basics. Take your own responsibility and stop projecting the responsibility of your trading business onto everyone and everything around you. Now, often we think we do take responsibility, but it's not evident that we actually don't take responsibility. What do I mean with that? Many traders who are having kids, they complain that the kids distract them. So, especially when it's little kids, they're noisy, or they walk into the trading room every 5 minutes and want something, and then the trader gets impatient. Or, they complain that the spouse is not supportive, or that the parents are not supportive. And you know what? I was the same. So, I'm not any better than that, but I worked my way through it. Every single trader has those challenges. What I found is that really successful traders, they still have the same distraction. So remember that when you have a challenge in terms of something distracts you, your responsibility is managing it. So if your kids are sick and you don't perform and they're sick, don't trade. As simple as that. Or trade really small and learn to manage yourself around that situation. If you had a bad day at work, before you go to the trading desk, make sure that you get yourself into a neutral base, where you don't feel all depleted and stressed from work, and then you go to the markets because it feels so good to place a trade. And then rather than using trading to make yourself feel better, you focus again on trading being your business.
Eric and a sloth use eToro to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies.
What, in your view, is the most important thing to remain consistent over a long?
All right, guys, we're going to move forward on our training for today. Let's go.
With the chat pretty frequently, so please engage in the chat. I try to get to everybody's questions. I want you guys to feel involved. If you have any questions throughout the night, please throw it in there, and I'll get to every single one as best as I can. So if you're brand new, welcome. This will set you up for the week ahead, especially on my trading calls. I trade at 11 o'clock on Wednesday and Thursdays, same time, 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. But anyways, this is TradingView. If you don't have TradingView, you're going to want to get TradingView. Type in tradingview.com, make an account, and hit chart, and it'll bring you to this. Make sure you have a watch list full of currency pairs. I do have a Telegram. It's in my Pip Talk. You can find Pip Talk on IM Center, and I have all of the pairs right here listed, so you can go ahead and add those. Otherwise, you can find them over here on the broker. You can go ahead and add them as well. So if you don't have the Fibonacci tool, this is what it is right here. How to locate this is over here on the left hand side. It's the third section down. If you click this little right hand arrow, extend it, it's called the fib retracement. I know there's a lot of you on this call that already have the fib. Be patient. There is brand new people. I want to make sure everyone can follow along so they can draw this up and understand it. So click fib retracement. I star it. I have my little bookmarks bar down here, just kind of handy. And then once you click on that, you can draw it out. Click one spot and then click another, and then yours is going to look a little bit different than mine. So if you click on the outer edge, it brings up a little toolbox, which is right here. And then you can go ahead and hit settings. When you hit settings, it brings up a big box just like this. You're going to want to have yours the exact same as mine.
I'm going to pause it right there real quick. If you guys need to go ahead and set up your fib, you can in your settings and put in the same codes and the same colors if you want to. I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. If you need more time, once you got this completed, put a 1 in the box. That way we can move forward. Yeah, I got 3, 4, 4 ones. All right. All right, we're gonna move forward. If you need more time, put a 2. Anybody need time, put 2. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and push play. Okay, we're good.
So I'm gonna leave this up for a minute or two, kind of explain and talk over it while you guys get those plugged in for those of you that are new. So on the left-hand side, we're gonna have 0, 0.5, 0.705, and 1. Colors don't matter. If you like my colors, you can go ahead and add the same ones. Uncheck every other box on the left-hand side and just make sure you have the top 4 selected. Over on the right-hand side, you want the second and third box checked, everyone else unchecked. And you want to have 0.618 in the second box and 0.786 in the third box. And if you scroll all the way down, I have my labels to the right. You can go ahead and click labels to the right if you like that. But colors don't matter. Make sure you have the right numbers and the right boxes selected. We might be taking some trades with the fib tool as we draw it on every single pair. So pay attention. If you already know how to use the fib and see a setup, might as well take it. I know a lot of you are returning students to this Training 101 class. If you don't have it, that's okay. That's why I'm showing you this. You can locate it on the left-hand side here. Click on fib retracement, and then you can draw it up. If you miss this information, you can go back and watch it and set it up. If you just want to watch and then go back and rewatch this session to get it all set up for yourself, that's okay too. So give me some ones in the chat if you're set up with this, you're good to go. Give me a 2 if you need some more time. I want to make sure everyone has this. So be a little bit of a slower session as it is training. Everyone needs to understand. And some people take things a little bit slower. I know. I could cruise through this in about 10. I could explain this in 10 minutes. But everyone learns at a different pace. So make sure to have the exact settings on this. And if you're in my Telegram, my Go Live Telegram, I have the fib settings in there as well. So how to join my Telegram, go to Pip Talk on the IM Center. I'm on page like 7, and then my link is in there. You should be able to join it. So, let's see. Ones, a bunch of ones. 1, 2. Okay. It should just automatically save. You can go down here. There's a little template. You can hit save as and then save it as something for those settings. That's how you can save it. Hopefully that was enough time. If you need more time, just let me know. We can go back. But have this bookmarked. We're going to be drawing up on 7 pairs. We're going to start with USDJPY. I'm going to explain how I differ from an uptrend or a downtrend. I'm going to go through both because we'll probably be trading with a downtrend and an uptrend. So on USDJPY, if we're zooming out, get the bigger picture. I don't have my monitor. I'm just on my laptop, so can't really see as much as I can. I'm going to move that. Yeah, if you want to get rid of your currency pairs, because we'll just be on one, you can go up to the top right and get rid of that. So zooming out, looking at the higher time frames, this is downtrending. And when it's downtrending, that means we want to be taking sells. So looking at the fib, I like this in a downtrend. I like to take it on a downtrend. Sometimes the fib doesn't line up with what I want to take. So this is currently uptrending right now, but it is in a long-term downtrend. If we zoom out to the higher time frames, as you can see, I have these red lines from last week. It is still downtrending long-term. It is still downtrending in our short-term downtrend right here as well. I only draw the fib on the 5-minute chart. So if you're taking notes, everything I say, write down. It's gonna come in, spurts of what you need to know. If you want, you can take notes on your trading view. You can click the little text box, which is on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th section down on your trading view. Hit the little arrow, hit text, bookmark it. Draw a text box and take notes. Everything I say that's important, put in there. Everything helps, so you can go back and review and draw it up. So on this chart right now, I do not like drawing the fib because I would rather take sells on this because it is downtrending right now. This would be an uptrend fib. I don't like this. This is kind of going against the trend. We know what happened last week when we traded against the trend on Wednesday. Things didn't go our way. Reevaluated Thursday, traded with the trend, went 3-0. So learned a lesson from that. Everyone can learn a lesson from that. So on USDJPY, usually what we would do is if it's on a downtrend, we're going to find the latest high. What I mean by the latest high, I'm going to use my brush tool here. The latest high is right here. This is the latest high that we have on the 5-minute. So it hasn't came any higher since, so this is our latest high. After we find our latest high, we find our latest low, which is right here. So once we establish both of these, then we can draw our fib. But I don't like this as set up right now. I'm just showing you how to draw it in the downtrend. So on a downtrend, we first take our fib, click our fib on the top, and then we scroll down, find our bottom. Now, this is important. Do not put it on the wick. Put it on the body of the candle. So the body is the end of this red, where it closed, and then it opened on the bottom of this blue candle. That's a little bit about candles. And so once we find that, we just want to extend it over to the right. Now, we have our high, have our low. Everything before this circle to this one doesn't matter. Everything after it matters. And so what we want to do with the fib is after we find our low, we want this to just retrace into our first zone, which is, my color is orange, in between 0.5 and 0.618. Once it touches anywhere in this orange zone, we want to take a 5-minute sell. This is just my strategy. We want to take a 5-minute sell once it hits this orange zone. So we have our high, we have our low. After that, we wait for price to hit our orange area, and we take a 5-minute sell. You'll rewatch videos on the fib. I'll always say 5 minutes. 5-minute sells, 5-minute buys. But you should have this middle line, and that indicates that you should be taking sells only when you're drawing the fib up. Check the chat. Cool. So why I don't like this is because it's covering too much ground. So if we go to the 30-minute, so this is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, about 4.5 hours this is covering. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So this is why I wouldn't draw it here, just because it's just too much. It's too much and it's too big of movements. So this is just how you draw a downtrend. I would not draw it up on this pair though. This is USDJPY on the 5-minute. This is how I would draw it up, but it doesn't make sense to draw this up. There's too much. There's an understanding on how to draw it up, but how to draw it up correctly and how much time you need to cover. I like it when it covers an hour or two, but not 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Let's move on to Euro JPY. This is the second pair that I like. So if we zoom out, this is kind of uptrending and downtrending. When you see this uptrending and downtrending, don't really see a massive trend. Zooming out, I would then go to the 5-minute, take our arrow, you see this trending downward. So what are we going to do? Trending downward, we're going to take sells. We're going to trade with the trend. Write this on your screen, write this down, trade with the trend. When you're trading with me, we're trading with the trend. At least 80% of the time, we're trading with the trend. So we established our downtrend. I know this is not I'm just giving an arrow of where price is going. It's not a perfect trend line. But now we have to what? When we're establishing our downtrend, first we find the latest high, right? So this would be our latest high. Price came down, came back up just a little bit. That would be our high, not this right here. This is going to take some getting used to, and this is going to take some practice. So after you learn this tonight in this hour, now go take what I've taught you and practice it. Take dollar trades. Don't risk half your account on it, or 3 to 5%. Risk $1. Just practice it until you can have a high percentage. Don't just throw your money out there. This is real money. So this is our high. Now we establish our low. So have our low here. Now we take our fib tool. First, put it at the top, click at the top, find our bottom body, and extend it to the right. So this is our low. So everything before it doesn't matter. We just want price to retrace into our orange zone in between 0.5 and 0.618. And so now if this in the next hour retraces up to our orange zone, I'm going to let you guys know we're going to go in for a 5-minute sell. So you can have your brokers open. Once Euro JPY hits our first area, we're going to go in for a sell for 5 minutes. Anywhere in the orange zone, we're going to take a sell. After, say, we take a sell right there. After that, say it goes down, then comes back up. Second entry, I like it in the green zone. Anywhere in between 618 and 705. That's the second entry. Rejects off this, comes back down, then comes back up again. The third entry, which I like, is the top of the fib. a downtrend. But again, I'm just teaching the fib. You have to incorporate this with your other strategy: support, resistance, trend lines, whatever you use as your strategy, Bollinger Band, stochastic, RSI, whatever your strategy currently is, keep using it, but add this as a confirmation. You're going to see a lot more trades once you can add this in on your analysis. Sorry guys, I got to read this chat real quick. Yes, I'll send the trade ideas in the chat when I do have them. What determines a place to draw a fib? I just explained, I don't know, I think I just explained that, I believe. The high and the lows. Yes. So, Lopez, reword your question. I feel like I know what you're saying, but reword it. All right, cool. Reword it, and I'll get back to that. So, anywhere between about 860 to 866 is where I'd like a sell on Euro JPY. I'll put that in the market ideas. Send ideas on the Euro JPY so you guys have it if it does come up to it. 864 for an entry. Sell for 5 minutes. So if you're following along, give me some ones in the chat if this is making sense so far. We've only done downtrends. We have our latest high, we have our latest low. Now all we want to do is price to retrace into our first zone to take a 5-minute sell. If we had the fib up here, this is just too much information. If we had the fib up here, our latest low would be moved up to here. But when price breaks that low, we just have to adjust our fib. Move it down to that new high, which is here, and then wait for it to make a low to put it at the bottom for then price to retrace back up to take a sell back down, because we're trading with the trend. You trade with the trend, you're going to use this to at least 80% effectively if you know how to use this incorporated with your other strategy that you do have. So that's Euro JPY. Wait for that to come up. If it doesn't come up, that's all right. There will be other trades. This first blue wick wouldn't have been an entry. Why? Is because actually it would have been, because this would have been the low on this body. This would have been the low, and then price came all the way up. This wick hit the in between 618 and 0.5, and so this, I'm going to erase this right here. Hold on, give me a sec. This would have been the low right here. Those two candles. That would have been the low. The fib would have drawn up on the bottom there, and then all we would have to do is wait for price to come up here. This would have been our first entry actually on this low. Price broke this low, so we would have to just move it down. If it lets me. My goodness. Move down to that bottom one. So now this is just a little bit more accurate as we moved it down just a little bit. So good eye on that. just training tonight. I will call out trades as the fib is setting up. Check the market ideas. This will show all of the entries that we have taken off, strictly just the fib. GBP JPY is next. This is pair 3 out of 7 that we're going to go over tonight. So I like this. This is an uptrend if we're looking at a 5-minute overall. But then again, a lot of people get confused. This is downtrending on the 5-minute chart. What I'd say about this, yes, we want to trade with the overall trend it's going in, which is up. But on the 5-minute, this is trending downwards. So just be careful when you see that. But I trust this is enough. This is enough time for me. I look at this. This is enough time covered in a downtrend that I would trust this on a downtrend. So right now, on a downtrend, we haven't had an uptrend yet. What do we do first? Find the high. Yes, this is our latest high right here. Then our latest low right there. Now we take our fib on the body and to the body. So we zoom in a little bit. High, low. So after this hit our body right here, if this came all the way up and then finished down, we could have taken that. I don't know the history of how this, if it went up first or down, because that would have a different analysis on it. But now we have it. Now we would just wait for price to go back up. See this little wick touched in our 618 and our 0.5 range. We would have taken the sell once price got there, because it's after the low. Everything after the low matters. Everything before the low doesn't matter. So this would have been our first entry. Our second entry would be in the green here on GBP JPY. So I'm actually going to put in 635 GBP JPY. Yep. Sell for 5 minutes. That's the next entry I would be looking for. Would be 635 because the second entry is in the green. I said 635 because this is the top of the green. You can take it anywhere in the green. I just put in 635 being conservative, as I'm not taking the trades with you. I'm just giving the ideas, because this is strictly training, but I know a lot of people want to trade as well. You don't have to take these trades at all. I don't really have any other analysis on these, as I'm just teaching how to use this as another indicator, as another source of value you can add to your strategy that you're creating yourself. Question about how long of a time frame do you look for the high and low? Right here is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. This is only 40 minutes. I'd like at least an hour or two, but if it's anything less like this, if it sets up nice with this long candle, it's going to give us that nice retracement. Usually when you see these long candles and it's going to retrace, it usually retraces about halfway and then continues its movement downward. You'll see that a lot. Look for that when you see those big long candles up or down. Usually a lot of the time it retraces about halfway back up the candle if it's on a heavy downtrend or heavy uptrend. Third entry then would be at the top of the fib, as this would be a light resistance. So let me know if anyone took that in the green, or if you're being patient waiting for 635 on the call out. Yeah, good question. How do you compensate for the differences in pips with TradingView and the brokers as far as finding the perfect entry? With the brokers, if it's on TradingView, say it's at the entry on TradingView, and it's like a pipette within about 3 pipettes from your entry, I would go ahead and take it. So if we're at 635 on GBP JPY, that's our entry. And let's say price only came to 630. If it says it was on 635 and price was at 632 on the broker, you can kind of see the 3 numbers up here. I would take it. If it's on there on TradingView, I'd take it on the broker. So sometimes they can be a pipette off, sometimes they're spot on, sometimes they're a little bit off, but your best entry here, 639. If anyone did get in that, you have some time left, about 3 minutes left if you took 5 minutes on that trade. So how to get those colors, you just have to go into your settings, click on the outside of your fib, hit settings. You can actually click the color, and then you can actually hit this little add custom color, and you can kind of make it brighter and make it your own using this little tool, that little circle tool, whatever it's called. So you should be in profits if you did take that. This is making sense. I'm going at a good pace. You're following along. Give me some ones in the chat. I want to make sure everyone's following along. It's going to take time. You're not going to learn this overnight. You can go rewatch this. You know, I know a lot of people that have said, they're like, dude, I had to watch your video 5 times and I finally understood it. Don't give up after watching, you know, one of the recordings or one live session of an educator. Don't give up. Keep watching it until you understand. Keep applying it until you understand. It's too easy to give up. Everyone gives up. You're here for a reason. Sweet. A lot of people understanding. PJPY is in profits. Entered our green zone. Everyone. Some people got the entry. We want to know. See what USD JPY. No, Euro. Did Euro ever come up? Euro JPY didn't come up. That's okay. We're gonna keep moving through Euro GBP. You want me to give me some ones if you want me to go through the rest of the pairs. I will keep going. This will be a major fib session. I just like to go really slow. Clear, 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 clear. Let's go. Should be about 2 pips, 3 pips in profit. 2 pips. Some people got 39.
Okay, we'll pause it right there on our training. Video, rather. Now we're going to move forward. What I want to do at this time is give everybody an opportunity to see if we have enough time to draw from fibs real quick. So is there anybody that wants to share their screen? Let me give you permission to unmute as well. You can share your screen and go ahead and draw the fib up. We got to do this kind of quick so everybody wants to do it can have an opportunity to do so. So if you want to share your screen and go ahead and draw the fib up, this is the time to do it. And I can help you see if you get it up there right and keep this thing moving forward. So anybody want to share their screen? Go ahead and put a one in the chart if you want to share your screen real quick so I can go ahead and stop sharing. Anybody want to give it a shot? They got their trading view chart drawn up. Okay, Emma. Okay, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
All right, so I just drew up one on GBP USD actually. Just fix it here, soon as I zoom in. All right, so this GBP USD is in an overall uptrend. So I got the latest low here and then the latest high, and you're waiting for it to come down into this zone here. And I really like if it comes down to, where is it, right here, 701. I think that would be a perfect entry for a buy.
Yes, I totally agree with you. That's a great setup. Very good. Can you zoom out a little bit? Let everybody see that it's in an uptrend.
Sure. I'll go into a higher time frame as well. So this is 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. So it's more or less in an uptrend. So, and even on the 5 minute here, we have a little uptrend going on here too.
Great. Great job, Emma. That's a perfect setup, everybody. So this is exactly how you want to draw up your fibs. All right, so great job, Emma.
All right, thanks.
Okay. All right, so now who we have next? Floyd, you want to give it a shot? Logan, you want to give it a shot?
I'm on Zoom on my phone, so I can't share my screen.
No problem. Okay, what I'll do now, I'll just go back to my screen and we can just look for a couple more different ones. All right, so I got UJ pulled up right here. So basically, UJ has been in an overall uptrend sometime, but it goes up and down. So right now we have a downtrend here. So I would be able to
see your
feel.
screen.
Say again? I'm not
I
sharing?
can't see your screen.
Okay, let me go back and share. No problem.
And while you doing it, I got a question.
Yep.
Okay, I know we mark up our charts, from the daily on down.
Mhm.
After we do that, and then we're getting ready to use our fib, do we go from those markups, like when we're looking for the latest high? Is that where we start to look for the latest high, where our markup is at?
Well, let me give you an example. With the markups, I normally use my markups for like entry points afterwards. But with the fib, you're just looking for the latest high. So that might not be at a certain horizontal line. It may be in the middle of a movement inside of a zone. So you just got to find the latest high right here. So you see these two candles here? I want to look for the latest high. So if I go back, this one is a little bit, it's almost the same level. So I got to go up one more. So right here will be the latest high. And this will be my latest low. So I'm going to draw it down with fib like this. I'll come to my latest high here and drag it down to my latest low. And that's it. So as you see, the line is here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to bring it way up there.
Okay. I got one more question.
Mm-hmm.
When you see a steady uptrend or a steady downtrend, you don't use the fib on those, do you?
Well, I don't know what you mean by steady, because if you look, this is a steady downtrend here. You mean like
look,
like all red?
Right, all red or all green, yeah.
Well, yeah,
I put it in the boot camp, so everybody, I want to share with everybody. I put a picture of what I'm talking about in the boot camp chat.
Okay, well, yeah, you can definitely use it, but you got to wait till the market stops. So you'll just keep on, you'll keep bringing it down until it stops. But you definitely want to use it when it's in a steady uptrend or a steady downtrend. You just gotta wait for the market to actually stop moving so you can actually draw it on there. Because I've tried that before too, where it's keep dropping. I'm like, I'm putting the fib here. Eventually, it's gonna go back up, right? But if it's dropping too fast, then you might as well just wait till it stops moving and then finally draw it up.
Okay.
If that makes sense to you. But you definitely want to use it when it's downtrending or uptrending.
Okay.
Okay. So now another thing that I do, I always try to look left to see exactly where I want to enter at. So I look for the most resistance in the level. So right here at the start of the 618, that's pretty much a good level right there. Is what I'm looking for. I'm not worried about all this stuff anymore. Now I'm looking for what it's going to do next. So the next time it comes back up, it may come all the way up here because it's been here already. But I'm praying that it'll just turn around at 470. But I always look left to see what happens, to see where my good entry points are. I kind of use a zone box, horizontal box, I should say. I call it a zone box. So right here, you can see that there's a bunch of resistance in the area. So I'll draw a box like this just to remind myself that this is a good area to take the trade. And then once I have that set up, I can set an alarm. If anyone does not know how to set an alarm, all you would do is go to the level you wanted at. You see the plus sign right here? If I wanted at 470, I would come to the plus sign, click on it, and then click add alert. And it should turn orange. If you want to move that, you can move it. You just kind of click on it, and you can push edit, or you can bring it down, or you can delete it, or whatever you need to do. So for me, I would want to know it ahead of time before it gets to 470. So I would set my alarm a little bit lower, maybe at around 460, 461 is fine. That way, give me time to get to my broker, turn the broker on, and then go from there. So this is like set up for me. I'll go ahead and look for something else. Maybe a different one. Okay, what we have here. This is not really a example for a fib, so I can't use it here. But if this comes down to my entry point, which is down here, I could actually take this for a call. But we're not trading right now, so let me keep looking for the fib. Okay, here's a great example. So this is a strong uptrend here, a temporary uptrend. So here, I know this is going to come back down. That's how you would do that real quickly. Just to see what the EU is doing. Let me go to the high time frame. So I know this was in an uptrend before because I had it marked up. That's how I knew that in my head. It's an uptrend. It's been uptrending for a while. So if it comes back down to my 618, I would definitely take this. This is the actual real setup that I will take later on in the day. So I'll give myself an alarm. And it may only come to 705. Let me change that. Because this is where it reversed that a while back. So I will set that a little higher to remind myself to watch this. And about right there.
So you're looking for it to come back where? What area are you looking for it to come back on?
Well, my
705?
already marked up. So here, you see these candles here? That is 701.
Okay.
The 618 is here. But just based off my analysis, the market came up to here. It may come to my zone here, but I'm just saying I'm going to be looking to take it here. That's right in the middle of the 618 zone.
Okay.
Yep. And that's only because I already got this marked up and I've already cleared some trades at this level. If I didn't have that, I would not have said that. I probably just went off the strictly just off the 618 anytime it gets in there. Yep. So
okay.
Let's keep looking. I already got one drawn up on UJ. All right, let's keep going. Let me find anything else. All right, this is in a downtrend. So here's a perfect example. This is actually setting up now. It already pretty much came back up there. So there's no real body here. So you would have to necessarily go up there if you were going to do it. It'll be like that. Okay, so as you can see, right now, this is kind of sort of consolidating in this zone. This hasn't really broken out of there yet, so you can't use the fib on GA right now. Okay, now you can see we got some uptrending here. So this is definitely in an uptrend. So I could place the fib on GCAD, but it's in a temporary downtrend. So I don't know if I would use an uptrend fib right now because this is in a slight downtrend. You guys see that? So this is kind of tricky. So personally, I would probably just set up my zones here. I wouldn't necessarily use a fib because I could just take it as a resistance area. So yeah, I will be looking to take this for a put at some point. All right, let's keep going. Okay, here we go. Perfect. All right, so here's an uptrend fib that you can definitely place. All right, again, you're looking for the lowest low, the previous low, which would be probably about right here. But I would even put it here. I mean, you can go here. That's ideally the previous low. Sometimes I would even put it right here, depending on my move. But yeah, like right here would be a good point. That would be at the 715 level. I would look for a put right there. So I would just set me an alarm if it comes down to here, if I have any more left. All right, so that's that one. All right, this is called a teacup. You guys see this oval shape, kind of round right here? It's kind of like a curve. And then you got the handle. You guys see that? This is called a teacup. And you can actually look this up and see how you can trade out the teacup if you happen to see this in the market. This is a great entry point. You can see it's in the downtrend and it retraced up back up, breaking retest. So that was a great example of a teacup. Now, if I wanted to show you guys a teacup, I would have never saw this. So this is great. Okay, so basically what I'm doing, I just make a zone because I see that it's kind of like going up and down right there. So I can watch this for a call here and a sell up here at this zone. I was going to show you the fib, but I wouldn't use the fib on this pair because it's not really breaking out anymore. It's kind of like came back up to this zone and now it's trying to figure out what it wants to do. So probably at the 30-minute mark, it may make a breakout move in 6 more minutes. But I'll keep watching that. Same thing on euro odd. So it seems like the euro is doing the same kind of movement. That's euro GBP. And then you got the same thing on euro odd. I wonder if euro USD doing the same thing. No, euro USD is doing something different. Okay. So sometimes you have pairs that kind of move similarly, that they move the same way. And you kind of can do the same setup as far as your analysis goes. So let's see if this respects this. I don't know what just happened. I don't need that. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see if we got anything else. Same thing. Okay. Overall, your JPY is in an uptrend. Okay, it's kind of respecting my zone here. So I will be taking sales in here right now because it's still respecting my zone. So for me, right now, would not be a good pair for using the fib. I would just be using my zones here. So when it hit here, I would definitely be taking a sell. But I'm trying to keep focused on the fib use. You can't always use the fib because there's nothing that, there's no setups for the fib on every pair. But then sometimes you'll be able to use the fib, when it sets up, you set your alarms and you come back to it. So this is what I'll be looking for here. This RCAD was in a downtrend. That's why I sometimes put these arrows there to remind myself the direction of the overall market. So I'll know what I predominantly want to look for. I'll try to trade with the trend mostly, but you can trade, another direction when it's in another direction. If it's in an uptrend, I can take a put. If it's in a downtrend, I can take a call depending on, my zone. So I go off zone. That's kind of sort of my strategy, trading off the zones. You got to find what works for you though, and kind of stick to that strategy and kind of master that strategy. So we got the same teacup action here. All right, here we go. So here's another one. Let's see what it's doing. USD was in a downtrend. So it's in a downtrend overall. Let's see. So right now you got a temporary uptrend. And also you can trade off the channels as well. I'm gonna show that to you real quick. So basically with the channels, what you're doing is just blocking it in off your entry, 3 points of contact. So you see you got a lot of contact here. So I could have taken a sell here. A call here. One at this level here. And you could do this all day long. Once you start mastering certain things with drawing things up, the key is though is practice, get into the chart, drawing this stuff up and just watching to see what happened and then try to use this stuff. So you got to apply, you got to take the time out of your day to apply, what you're learning. And then, you can see some things happen and then you stick to it. Once you get a strategy going, just kind of sort of stick to it. So let me just draw this up real quick. So again, if I were to take it down here, just to show you, I will wait for this to hit down here. If I were to move this up to here, it wouldn't really give me a lot of movement. So I don't really like that right there. So I would have probably felt better for it coming down a little lower. If I'm going to try to use the fib right now, I would bring it down a little lower and feel more comfortable with it dropping just a little more. Okay, that's our USD. We got about 1 minute, everybody, and then we're done. Has anybody got any questions about anything? We're going to get back to this tomorrow. If you have any questions, I always put questions in the bootcamp chat and I can respond there. Well, it looks like I'm going to call it a day there. It's already 8:30. Hope everybody got some value out of this today. And tomorrow we're going to be doing a little more fib training. And again, we want to be able to apply in this bootcamp. So be ready to work on your charts while we're here, because that's how you're going to be able to learn and ask questions. Because when I first started this academy, I didn't have anybody to ask questions to. The videos don't talk back to you when you're watching an IM Academy. So here you have an opportunity to ask questions, do some Prac app, use it to your advantage to get some practice in. That way you can get to the charts yourself and start taking your own trade. That's the goal of bootcamp, to get you up to speed and get you ready to trade on your own and be more consistent and successful at that. All right, so there's no questions. Appreciate all you guys that hopped on today. Have a great day. Get to your charts, get to your bag. God bless you. See you guys.
Thank you, Vaughn.
No problem.
Thanks again, Vaughn.
All right, no problem.